Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interwebs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. We're kicking things off today, my friends, from the location of the Big Logs Incorporated log shop in the brand spanking new Nether Hub of Hermitcraft Season 6. Guys, I can barely contain my awe right now. My jaw is literally in my lap as I'm recording this episode. I never in my wildest imagination thought that I would ever play on a server with the Nether Hub of this immense epicosity. This, my friends, is vanilla Minecraft. Believe it or not, the Hermits on this server have been going absolutely mad over the last 2 months. Some serious grind has gone into creating what I would argue is the best Hermitcraft Nether Hub ever created over the 6 seasons of Hermitcraft. And, well, I don't even know where to begin. But I really wanted to show you guys what is cracking out here because, man, I just love it. It is just so magnificently awesome. Let's start with the ridiculous walls and roof that are completely made out of black concrete right here. I don't even want to think about how many thousands of blocks of black concrete were created to make this. Not only the number of black concrete blocks required has blown my mind, but the fact that this build is actually a diagonal square. It isn't a square build, it is a diagonal build. And I think this has been done for a very particular reason. If you guys want to get a bit more detail onto why and how this Nether Hub has been created, I think Azuma's channel is probably the best place to go. His last episode was the last part of an episode series that he did to complete this Nether Hub. And there's a bunch of other hermits also, Cub Fan, I'm looking at you, that have been grinding their butts off to get this Nether Hub created. And I am a very proud hermit right now, guys. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to get involved in this project myself. I feel kind of bad considering the insane amount of grind that was required to get this done. But let me break it down for you exactly what's going on here, guys. This is a scaled down version of Hermit Island. And of course, this island is the island upon which all of us hermits are living in Season 6, or at least doing a lot of work. And as you can see, these nether portals are basically the representations of the nether portals in the overworld. So all the way out here is where we started our season, all the way over here on this little peninsula. This was my Ren hole, and this is Falsy's Ren hole over here. And of course, our ravine base is right about here on the mini-map. And here, of course, is the Northern District for Christmas. And we can actually go through each of the districts here, right? If we do a little bit of a fly here. So we're in the Fantasy District over here. And we're going to fly past Concorp's base over here into the Industrial District, then into the Medieval District over here. And that's going to take us into the Modern District, then into the Futuristic District, and back into the Shopping District. And each of the nether portals is going to be represented, of course, by a banner showing which district we're in. This is absolutely insane. Congratulations to the hermits who got this done, man. You guys are magnificent Minecrafters. Wow. Mind-blowing. And speaking of mind-blowing, guys, I have another magnificent project to show you that has popped up on the Hermitcraft server this week. This time for the HRN project. Courtesy of the wonderful Grian, a brand new station has popped out in the middle of the ocean here. This is the junction station between Mumbo's base and Grian's base, and this station is, of course, for the architects. And I think it is absolutely magnificent. Grian has thrown together a beautiful oceanic platform that is going to be linking up Mumbo, Grian, and Azuma, who is all the way out there, to the HRN network. And that's going to be happening via these really awesome rails that takes us all the way into the ocean, takes a sharp right, which is then going to be connecting into what is going to become the East Station here, just off the perimeter of the Futuristic District. We can actually see some of the lines that will be taking these hermits onto the mainland should they choose to use the HRN. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that Grian has gone for this massive A over here for his platform, for his railway station platform. This is, of course, for the architects, right? And I think it's such a beautiful design. Look at that. These rails also looking super futuristic. It's like we're in a Blade Runner movie or something out here. So freaking sweet, man. Man, this is so awesome, guys. It feels to me like the theme for the Hermitcraft server this week is progress. I know there's a lot of hermits that have been grinding away this week, achieving some really awesome things. And, well, we are also one of them. Very pleased to announce, guys, that despite the fact we haven't had a lot of videos this week, I have made a ton of progress on the server. Here we are at the Stacks for Stacks Tavern in the Medieval District, and through the window you can see a brand new development that I started on stream a few days ago, and I'm kind of excited about this one. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this now for the next part of today's episode. I spent the majority of my week, however, working on the spiral sorting storage system over at the Fairy Pirate Grotto Cave of Glitter and Awesomeness. We're going to be checking that out a little bit later on. But let me take you out here to show you exactly my plans for this area over here. This, of course, is the Stacks for Stacks Tavern. It is one of the first builds that we created on the Hermitcraft server all the way back in episode 10 or something like that. And this tavern serves food and bedding for wary hermits passing through. And I think it's about time that we start adding a little bit more awesomeness into this part of Hermit Island. It's looking a little bit dead out here. Of course, we do have a house that Jevin threw up, which looks great. Oh, by the way, there is a new person that lives in Jevin's house. This was a witch that we captured on stream, and I've actually named this witch a rather hilarious name. Take a look at this. Say hello to Gertrude the Jeva Witch. She is a very angry, bitter, and as you can see, frustrated witch who loves throwing potions at anybody who enters the room. Now, the reason Gertrude has been shoved into Jevin's house over there is because I needed to make a little bit of space for a brand new apartment development that I have started here at Stacks for Stacks. There was a bunch of sheep that we enclosed here many, many months ago, and there was a witch chilling with the sheep, and well, on stream we decided that the witch didn't need to die, and she needed to be immortalized as Gertrude the Jeva Witch for eternity. Hey, listen, that's just how ReNDoG streams go, okay? Weird things happen. And yeah, if you don't want to miss any of the shenanigans that happen on my stream, go check it out, man. Twitch.tv/ReNDoG TV. Shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Anyway, the plan here, guys, is to start adding a few more buildings into this part of the Medieval District. Try bring this place alive a little bit, and ultimately my goal is to create a big medieval city in this area. And I've actually started to section off a part of it too. You see these cobblestone blocks that run all the way outside of the western line here? I want to basically build a massive medieval city in here. I want to populate all of this area here, create a church, a blacksmith, a tannery, buildings, houses, all those sweet, sweet medieval things is kind of my ultimate plan to do, and we're doing that on stream as a sort of stream exclusive operation. But yeah, on stream we managed to throw up the foundations of one apartment block over here, and the idea is I want to have 4 or so buildings over here, or 4 or so apartments that are going to be in the same style as Stacks for Stacks, and in here is going to be a really cool sort of bridgeway or underpass, I suppose, is what this is going to be. We're going to have a sort of house on top there, and then another apartment here, and each of these apartments is going to be at different levels, so that when we look at this part of the Stacks for Stacks Medieval District, we will have a skyline that sort of goes up and down in a very medieval fashion. So I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, hello, Greenhead. This is kind of awkward. You've been here for quite a few months now, and nobody found you? Oh, I tell you what, man, I'll pick you up. There we go. So what do you guys think? Just finished off the roof of our first medieval apartment here. Looking really, really nice, actually. I was a little bit worried how the roof was going to turn out because the length of the roof is much shorter than the length of the roof here on Stacks for Stacks, but I really like all of the sort of depth and the gaps and stuff in the roof here, and I think it's really matching this area quite nicely. And with another 3 of these bad boys here, this entire area is going to be transformed into a medieval wonderland. Well, that's the plan anyway, although that slab is really bothering me, I'm not going to lie. Okay, after all of that roof building, guys, I am in the mood to get a little bit technical in today's episode. Welcome back to the spiraling sorting system of doom and awesomeness in the Fairy Pirate Grotto Cave of Glitter and greatness, I guess. This is where I have been spending the majority of my time on the Hermitcraft server this week, guys, and well, some of you might be thinking, ReNDoG, you haven't really done much. Nothing really has changed around here. It looks exactly the same as the last episode. Well, you would be 100% wrong, guys. I have spent many hours trying to figure out exactly how we are going to be sorting and categorizing our sorting system here. And I want to take you guys through this because it's kind of important. Now, I have installed 0 redstone other than the first cell over here, but I have managed to install all of the chests and all of the hoppers, and I have managed to get all of the item frames with the different items set up all the way down to the bottom of the staircase there. So we are about ready to start installing some of the actual machinery here. But I want to take you through the logic of how the storage system is going to work. So basically what I've decided to do is only store items that are going to be useful for us here in Minecraft. I don't want to store every single item in the game because I don't actually use the majority of them. And I want to store the items that are going to be useful for me in my projects here on the Hermitcraft server. So we're starting at the top floor here with a bunch of building blocks. We've got all of the stone and all of the dirt and all of the different building blocks that we may use in the builds that are coming up in the next couple of months. And this spans all the way down here to the humble slab. And I think we actually come all the way around the corner here too. We've also got some quartz blocks and some nether blocks over there also. And then as we travel further down the spiral, we start getting into the wood. We got our plankage, we got our logs over here, we got the saplings that we're going to need to generate more logs if we need to, or to grow trees outside for decoration and whatnot. And as we're traveling around the spiral staircase, of course, I've added a couple of partitions. This very first partition over here is your everyday partition. We got the items that help us to travel around the Hermitcraft server, the ender pearls, the rockets and whatnot. Also, let's sort of make these face in a nice angled position. We got the different food types that we're going to be eating. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other food, but let's be honest, man, the best food in the game, golden carrots and steak, a little bit of chicken also, of course, for stacks, and all of the other food types I'm not really interested in storing. Now, you may have also noticed this bit of white concrete powder on our hopper chain. This is cute, but very wrong, and we're going to be changing this up in a second. I'll explain why in a moment, but I do want to show you guys the other partitions. As we're traveling around the spiral, we can see that we get into other bits. Now we've got some leaves over here, some cactuses and vines and pickles. These are the the green items that we might want to use in our builds. And as I said, we've got some logs and the saplings and bone meal. And of course, the bone meal is here with the saplings because bone meal and saplings go together quite well. We got another partition around the back here, which is storing all of the different fuels that we might want to use, from blaze rods to coal to kelp blocks. And of course, we have the auto smelter in our base, which is generating a few of those resources. So that's pretty good. Here we have a bunch of the wooden materials, the stairs and the slabs for wood. I think this is kind of important. We make quite a lot of use of that. And as we travel further down, we get into the prismarine blocks too, which I think we're going to be making use of, particularly in this build when we start making this cave look a little bit more awesome. Got another partition back here for mob drops that are useful. Bones, spider eyes for brewage. We got string. We got ghast tears over here, membranes and nautilus shells. Those are probably the most useful mob drops, I would think, in the game. We don't really need anything else, I think. And, well, this is the nice redstone section that the architects might enjoy having a look at. We've got all the different bits and pieces for redstone down here, even a little bit of packed ice and ice for item transport, even a bit of TNT if we need it. And down here, of course, we have some of our ingots. And I think we got one more partition back here. Yeah, we got one more partition back here. This is for enchanting. So we can see we got books and leather. We got ink. We've got feathers to make written books and whatnot. We got the lapis and the emeralds and the name tags, everything that we might need here for enchanting. And name tags are pretty useful here in Hermitcraft too, so we're going to be storing that also. Now, rather than just voiding any items that don't make it into our storage facility, I do actually want to do a little bit of manual sorting at the very end of our line here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend our hopper chain up here. There's our hopper chain there. And any item that doesn't get sorted into our system is going to end up in some chests here. So we're going to have chests down here filled with random items on this side of the chamber. And then on this side of the chamber, I'm going to set up a whole bunch of chests with item frames, and we can start storing some of the more useful items that haven't made it into the storage categorization. For example, wheat, right? We might need a little bit of wheat at some point to breed animals, or even seeds. Might need a bit of seeds to breed chickens or something like that, right? So that's where we're at with the sorting system right now, guys. The next step for me, of course, is to install all of the filters into the different cells here. It's going to take, well, hundreds and hundreds of comparators to get this done, and I'll probably do most of that redstone off camera, but there is a little bit of technical work that I would like to do with you guys today. Number one, starting with this white concrete over here. I've been keeping a very close eye on the comment sections of my videos over the last few episodes, and I've been trying to keep an eye out for you redstone geniuses out there, and a lot of you have been helping me out, trying to make this sorting system a little bit more efficient. A lot of you guys are extremely worried that all of these hoppers are going to lag the server something fierce, and you know, you guys are kind of right, and I want to make sure that I don't cause a bunch of lag for my fellow hermits, and a lot of you guys have explained to me exactly how we are going to achieve that. Now, before we get into any lag busting in today's episode, guys, I want to take a quick moment to talk about how the hopper works in Minecraft, which will really help to explain how we are going to reduce lag in our storage system. This is something that Iskal taught me this week, and it is so fascinating that I wanted to share it with you guys. We all know how the hopper works, right? We put stuff in the top, and there's an output for the hopper at the bottom or the sides, depending on which direction you face the hopper. But from a coding perspective, from a mechanical perspective, the way that the hopper works is that every few game ticks or so, it checks the top of itself and the sides of itself, so it checks its output and its input for an inventory. And that's why hoppers create lag. It's constantly checking itself for inventories. Now, if you have a chest attached to the hopper goes, ooh, there's an inventory, nice. But if you have nothing on top of the hopper, it's going to continue to check for an inventory. Now, an inventory means a chest, a furnace, a ender chest, a shulker box, anything that can hold items. And that includes open air, which is why a hopper with nothing on top of it is a little bit of a lag generation machine. Now, the way that we can get around this is kind of interesting and quite fun, actually, from a redstone perspective. It's a little bit nerdy, but that's kind of what I like about it. We're going to throw furnaces on top of all of our hoppers that have an open air space above them. And what that does is that makes the hopper think, ooh, there's an inventory above me. I don't have to check anymore. So this hopper right now is not checking for items coming into it because it sees an inventory above it. I believe that is how it works. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not entirely sure whether I explained the hopper mechanics correctly there. I'm probably a little bit wrong. Maybe one of you smarter redstoners out there can help me out with that one. But that's kind of how I interpreted the way that Iskal explained hoppers to me. The major point about this whole exercise is that by adding furnaces on top of our hoppers that have an airspace above them, we are going to help to reduce the lag generated by our sorting system. And that's the most important thing about this. So yeah, I've used a whole bunch of cobblestone to make a ridiculous amount of furnaces here, guys. I'm going to cover every single one of our hoppers in the system with the furnace, and hopefully that is going to put some of your guys' worries to rest regarding the lag that we are potentially generating on the Hermitcraft server. Oh my goodness, guys, doesn't that look absolutely insane? Look how much strip mining has happened here underneath Hermit Island. I'm going to blame TFC on this one, man. He has strip mined this entire area. That is so crazy. I'm in my camera account right now, guys, just to have a look at our storage facility from a different perspective. I don't usually like using camera accounts in vanilla Minecraft. I feel like it's a little bit cheaty, but I was kind of curious to see what our redstone might look like from the outside, and yeah, it looks about as crazy as I suspected it would look. Well, I can safely say, guys, I have never in my life placed down that many furnaces in one go in Minecraft. Absolutely crazy. Our hopper chain has now been lag busted a little bit, and I gotta be honest, I am feeling a slight improvement in performance after that. I mean, it's kind of negligible, it's not that bad, but I guess it might help when items start traveling through the system. But yeah, thank you everybody for helping me out with that one. Thanks to Iskal also for helping me doing a little bit of lag busting here. Now, there's one more thing that I would like to do from a technical perspective that one of you guys spotted. I don't know how you guys spotted this. You guys are absolutely crazy, but someone spotted this block down here in our item collection water duct. And that block over there is a little bit of a problem. And one of you guys mentioned that if in fact an item were to land directly on this block, it's not going to move. It's going to sit there and we are going to lose it as it's going to despawn. And the way that the system works, of course, is that wherever we are in the spiral staircase, we're going to be chucking items into the pit, right? And they're going to get automatically sorted. But there is a chance that one of those items ends up in that position over there. In fact, it looks like another item has just landed there too, which is very curious indeed. I suppose if an item lands on that one, yeah, it is actually going to get stuck on that block. So this is something that we need to try and solve. All right, friends, this is where you prepare your faces for Palmich, because the ReNDoG is trying to solve this problem, and I am coming up a little bit short. One of you guys gave me a little bit of an idea of how to solve this issue in the comments of the last episode. I'm trying. I'm not making too much progress, but I wanted to bring you guys back here to show you what I'm thinking. basically what I've done is I've replaced this part of our water aqueduct with packed ice. In fact, I think I want to replace this block with packed ice too. And I want to make sure that the momentum of the items traveling along this passageway is at maximum when items land on this position. Now, the problem, of course, is that in the previous design, having the sign down there meant that items landing on this block got stuck. So, why don't we try and use a slab in this position to stop items getting stuck on that position. But of course, we're going to have to stick some water here on top of this block, right? Because of course, items landing on this slab are going to have the same issue of just getting stuck on the slab. So if we bring our sign out here and stick the sign next to our slab here and then run a water source, oops, not in the transparent block, but the block above, we can see now that that water source is going to flow all the way to the end of the line, and then the item will actually skate across that packed ice. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is now a lossless system. Any item that lands on the sign block is going to land in this weird water stream here, and I do need to test out whether that's going to transport the item. So let's chuck an item in there. Yes, the item does actually get momentum. Let's try all the different parts of the block too, just to make sure nothing gets stuck. Okay, that's looking good. Now, what happens if items land on this block here? Will they flow into the source? It looks like it. That is looking really good, actually, guys. Look at this. I think that actually might be the solution. I'm not sure if that is exactly how you described it, whoever helped me out with this, but that does seem to be working. I would like to do some final tests over here. I want to throw an item into each one of the rows. So there's one. That did work. This one, that's kind of on the line, which is interesting. That's looking good. And I suppose we do need to make sure that this is 100% lossless, right? If we're going to chuck diamonds and stuff down here, we do not want them to just disappear or despawn on a block or something. But that looks good, guys. It's actually working. Nice one. Thanks to the very clever person who helped me out, man. You're a freaking genius. Now, this is probably going to sound a bit weird, guys, but I have been thinking about the trash can of our storage facility for pretty much the entire day today. And that's because it's actually kind of interesting. As we already know, the way that our sorting facility is going to be working is that the items we chuck into the pit are going to join this massive hopper chain that spirals around our system. Those items are going to try and find their specific chest to be stored in, and if they don't find a chest to be stored in, they're going to carry on traveling along the hopper chain until they get to the very end of the chain, which is this final hopper over here. When they hit that hopper, of course, they're going to go down into these hoppers, and those hoppers are going to be filling these chests at the very end of the system. The problem is, though, of course, is when these chests get filled up with items. If every single one of these double chests is filled up, items are going to start backing up in the hopper chain, and they will actually start backing up all the way into the storage facility, and that will eventually result in our filters being broken and the whole system not working correctly. And what I figured out this morning while I was making myself some breakfast is that we can create a little bit of a looping system here so that any items that get to the end of the hopper chain will get recycled back into the trash can part of the storage facility if in fact the last hoppers here in the chain are filled up. As you can see, I've added another hopper here to the very last hopper that's going to loop around and reconnect into the main hopper chain here. So any items that end up in this item hopper here, the first place they're going to go is down, but if they can't go down, they're going to join the loop again, and the items will get resent to the very front part of our trash can, which is going to be these chests over here. Now, even though our sorting facility is 100% automated, guys, this is going to be a pretty crucial thing that we're going to need to do at least once a week, and that is going to be item cleanup at the trash can of our sorting system, because let's face it, hundreds of different items are going to be landing up here, like for example, like different colored glasses, different colored wools, all of those sort of things that we are not actually storing. And it's going to be very important for me to come down here and actually do some manual sorting, and that's what we're going to be doing on the other side of the chamber over here. Ooh, I've just had a thought, guys. I know, stop the presses. ReNDoG's brain is actually working. I have no idea why I was putting the chests over there. It's going to be much more efficient for us to put the chests right next to the trash can so that we can literally open this chest, take items out of it, move it to this chest, and dump them, instead of taking items out here, running all the way over here, putting them into a chest, running all the way back. Yeah, listen, even though we've created the most inefficient storage facility in Minecraft, the trash can part of our facility doesn't have to be inefficient, right? We can at least do a little bit of planning down here. And who knows how many chests we're going to need here. I might as well just make a whole ton of them to store all of the items. But yeah, that's beautiful, guys. Trash can installed. Our little problem in the pit has been sorted. The lag busting has occurred. Our hopper chain is now furnace up, and this project is coming together really, really nicely, man. And as you guys can see, I have got a lot of work to do off camera. I need to get filters into every single one of these chests. It's going to take me probably 10 hours, I suppose, in total. So I'm going to take this off camera for now, guys, and say goodbye for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to hit the freaking like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, hit the subscribe button, man. We got some sweet projects coming up in the next episode. A brand new shop is going to be our next project, and it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to make us super rich. Thanks for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing out. Let me go and find myself some comparators, because this is going to be a long day. Smell you later, guys.